On this, the 28th anniversary of the announcement by Stanley Pons and Martin Fleischmann that they had observed a highly energetic phenomena in their experiments, it fills my heart with joy to know that these tortured spirits may finally be at peace and that their scarred reputation may be fully healed. Having gone through somewhat of a dramatic period in my own personal New Fire journey, I can now understand the immense respect they had for what they had discovered. I am not referring to their well-known standard type cells, but rather their 1 cc deuterium-loaded palladium sphere, Singularity. The unintended effect of this experiment was it resulted in the destruction of their apparatus, a hole bored through the base of the fume cupboard, and a relatively large volume of concrete and silicon dioxide-based aggregate from the floor of the lab either disappearing or turning to very fine particles. This scared them, as they realized they had stumbled upon something strange and potentially far more disruptive than more standard nuclear energy. Despite the fearsome effects, they did not report fire damage or activation of the lab. That is to say, this effect neither burnt in a chemical way or produced large quantities of hot species. This story had echoes in the same year of their announcement when Francesco Piantelli observed a similar singularity in his nickel and hydrogen biology experiment, only this time under cryogenic conditions. Clearly, this process could occur at a range of temperatures, but what was common was a transition metal, a hydrogen species, electricity, and a sudden parameter change. As Francesco Celani said as he agreed to give us access to his technology, safety, safety, safety is the most important thing. The whole New Fire community has suffered ridicule and ostracization over these 28 years, just as those who stumbled on similar effects in the past. It can be no secret that there has been vast resistance to New Fire research over the years. However, as I have seen up front and personal, it goes way beyond the reasonable rejection of new data. On the one hand, the attacks appear irrational, at the same time as well coordinated. On the other hand, they appear like an autoimmune response from the human psyche to something unfathomable. On reflection, I find myself thinking, what did anyone expect from a technology that appears to conjure forces into our physical realm in a way that appears to give free or over unity energy? When any technology that delivers a return of over 1 is able to be closed-looped, COP becomes meaningless, and we tend to infinity if there is no other damping or limiting factors. This realization should garner both fear and respect, and once you know it, you understand that we must be responsible with this great power that the universe is now bestowing upon us. There are many things that can be realized with the New Fire, but perhaps those capabilities which are most pertinent to our needs right now are, firstly, a non-polluting energy source, and secondly, a means to deal with the radioactive waste and fallout from our foray into traditional nuclear energy. We must demonstrate to the universe that we can use this technology responsibly before the planets align. By that I mean we must show that we can work in tune with the natural ebb and flow of nature. We must be humble and equitable in our deployment of the gift that is being given to us, so that we may take and give back rather than hoard. If we push this technology to its extreme, it will set the balance to null itself, and it will be out of our control. Nature always does this balancing, because nature abhors a vacuum. At this moment, we are sitting on the most incredible opportunity man has ever had. We are presented with a range of New Fire technologies whose inventors are prepared to gift them to man. We have already released the details of Echo. Additional to this is what we are calling Nova and Aura. This family of technology promises to solve the most intractable problems we have on this planet. It gives me great honour to announce that in just 4 days, you, the followers of our humble Live Open Science project, have donated the best part of $25,000. This is just enough to test each of these technologies in the coming months. We are currently looking at the best way to get unredacted fuel and ash testing done. Of course, the best way would be to have the equipment under the project's control, where we can share the analysis live. Once proven, as per the project's initial stated goals, we are putting in place methods and means to distribute the technologies far and wide with a data and know-how sharing framework. We are also putting in place approaches to message and educate on the science and the impacts of the technology moving forward. Thank you to all of the scientists working, retired, and in the citizenry that have enabled our journey or worked with us. Thank you to all of those brilliant minds that have laid the foundations and did the hard, relentless work from which our current claimants have been drawing their inspiration. And thank you to the few individuals that have come forward in a selfless way to gift working embodiments to help us lift up the poor and protect our biosphere. May we learn to use the new fire to live in tune with nature, to love and respect each other, and to leave a better world for our children.